It may be June 2nd, but the NFL has once again stolen the NBA's thunder. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is episode 125 of Championship Rings. I'm Brandon Lewis, host of Brandon. That is Ungar to the Max, host of the Sports Room Talk Show. On the bottom, we have Sean Fitzgerald, which you can follow on Twitter/X at FitzOnSportsVSR. We were going to have an intro tonight, guys, centered around the NBA Finals, which we'll get to in about 20-25 minutes. But of course, the NFL yesterday had sent two big shockwaves involving both of our teams. One of them, of course, being Myles Garrett, which Sean is here to talk about because he is a big Browns fan along with Josh, as well as the inevitable A.J. Brown is finally a New England Patriot. So I'm going to let the two Browns fans, Josh and Sean, go first. Josh, since this is our show, I'll let you start us off. Talk about how you feel.
It was time. This was a year or two too late, honestly. We should have traded him when he requested the trade. I said it hundreds of times or countless times, whatever, that Myles Garrett was becoming the defensive version of Joe Thomas here in Cleveland. Now I know Joe Thomas ended up getting a bust in the Hall of Fame, and he's one of the greatest offensive linemen in NFL history. But how many times did he make the playoffs? 0.
And the goddamn Cardinals in 2007, I will forever remember that game in infamy. There's going to have been a touchdown in the back of the end zone, Josh, if you don't remember that game. That's the game that kept us outside of the Colts, just bleeping it up.
Yep. That's the closest Joe Thomas ever got. Otherwise, it was losing season. Oh, here's a new head coach. Oh, here's a new starting quarterback. Myles Garrett went through the same damn thing. Yes, we went to the playoffs twice in 2021 and 2000.
Hey, we won a game during the miraculous pandemic of all times.
Yes.
At Pittsburgh.
And we should have won 2 playoff games, but of course.
Oh, yeah, that hit is going to be up there with Red Right 88 and all the other infamous moments.
Yes, the refs were, of course, favoring Kansas City.
And there's a study out there that actually proves the point. I'm not kidding. You all can go read it.
That was one of the stupidest non-calls I've ever seen, and excuse my French, but I fucking hate the touchback rule. But, Myles Garrett sets the all-time sack record in a single season. Great. Did we have a losing season? Did we have a winning season? No. Did we make the playoffs? No. Did we have a single primetime game last year? No.
Thank God.
And it's most of the time we were trailing when Myles Garrett was doing his damage. Think about this. In the week 8 game or whatever it was in New England, Myles Garrett single-handedly sacked Drake May 5 times.
Yeah, that was impressive in and of itself.
And guess what? We still got absolutely destroyed.
Because the offense was utter shit.
32-13.
I think, what is it? I think I told Brandon this. There's like a 30 or 40 plus year streak going where the Browns haven't won in New England.
I mean, the Browns haven't won a regular season game in Pittsburgh in years. I don't even remember the last.
They won one within the last 10 years. Maybe I'm
wrong. They haven't won since I believe it's 2002 or 2003.
Oh my God.
It's bad, dude.
But yeah, the Patriots one is probably just as bad, if not for the fact that I think on the next cycle, you're in Cleveland, so I don't think you head back to New England for another couple years.
Doesn't matter. New England still has kicked our ass, whether it's been in Cleveland or here or in New England.
Here's the funny thing, if you don't remember, the one Tom Brady year where they just had this goof game on the Patriots part and the Browns just demolished them. My younger brother got to go with
2010. I remember that.
My younger brother, I have one younger sibling. Shout out to him. He was a soccer player. He went with a couple of buddies of his to that game. and he got to witness that beatdown. I'm like, oh, come on. Why can't I see that?
Yeah, that was the Peyton Hillis game. But no, most of the time when Myles Garrett was doing Myles Garrett things, the Browns were either losing or nobody was paying attention because the Cleveland Browns haven't been relevant in years. Yes, we made the playoffs 2 times. I still won't say we were relevant.
I'd say we were in 2020. Definitely, we were relevant. We had
you're thinking of 2019 when we traded for OBJ.
No. 2020. You're relevant when you're winning. You went 11-5. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that to that point? If you get what I'm saying, Josh.
But now Myles Garrett gets to go to LA, pair up with the best offense in the NFL, the reigning MVP Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams.
I have a hot take here. I don't think Puka's going to play the whole season this coming year.
Devontae Adams, and Aaron Donald might come out of freaking retirement. So
if I'm him, I'm not sure if I want to reset that clock right now.
I felt like the Rams were the clear favorites prior to this trade. They damn sure are the favorites now. I mean, good
Seattle's
God.
Still really good. They've got Charbonnet, who's going to take over for Walker. So let's not crown the Rams just yet. They are the favorite. You and I both agree on that.
Man. Right.
But Seattle absolutely dismantled the Patriots.
Okay. The Rams would have done the same, and you know it.
Well, the way that you never would have known because, what was it? Wasn't it the Seahawks who dismantled the Rams first?
No, the Rams and Seahawks put on 2 absolute classics in Seattle down the stretch.
No, I'm talking the postseason because there was San Fran and Seattle and LA. I think all 3 made it.
Yes. Right? NFC Championship. That game was not a blowout. The Rams were.
The blowout was Seattle over San Francisco. Fitz.
Correct.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yes. So the NFC just continues to get stronger, and I'll say this. I had the Browns only winning 5 games prior to this trade. Now, I only have them winning 3. Yeah. And I'll say this. The Browns, the only teams I feel like I can definitively say they are better than are the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, and the Arizona Cardinals. I cannot say they're better than anybody else. Not even the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, you have no idea how much it hurt my soul when they took Carnell Tate, man. It hurt my soul. But a lot of what you said, I definitely agree with. At least, I was initially disappointed with the pick package return. However, when you keep in mind that Jared Verse was the first opening night selection since Jared Goff in 2016, just 2 years ago, and you can technically, assuming things hopefully don't get this messy, you have at least 4 years of control, 2 years rookie contract, plus 5th-year option, plus assuming you just only do 1 year of a franchise tag before trying to get a long-term deal. Again, that's a very odd scenario, but you have a very young and controllable player, and he's no Garrett, and that's not to knock Jared Verse. He was the 2024 Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Already a 2-time Pro Bowler and really, really good. I am disappointed that, as you said, just now with the comments that Andrew Berry made earlier today, especially, and, some of the comments from the other day where it's like, Myles didn't request a trade this particular offseason. But again, the writing was on the wall. I was just wondering, will it be closer to training camp? I wasn't expecting it to happen yesterday. That's where I was like, oh my God. Because when Schefter put out no words but the 3 sirens, I'm like, oh boy, what the hell happened? When the phone alert came up, I'm like, oh no. Like something went down. It wasn't a gut punch, but I'm like, oh crap. But what the Rams have done really well, though, is they've been able to load up their team still without all those first-round picks. With not
F them picks. That's their mentality.
They do really well by hitting on second, third, fourth, and fifth. And I want to credit the right people. I think it was Albert Breer, who it was on a podcast that I just, there's a little podcast clip on social media that I was looking at earlier. But like they made a really great point in how, with McVay, it's like having the password to the entire NFL.
They've hit on guys like Cooper Kupp a third round, Braden Fisk, I believe,
Cooper
second
Kupp,
round.
I love when I could draft him. I could draft Kyron Williams team like in the 13th round. I'm like, hallelujah, baby! It's like everyone else is underestimating him.
Harvenstein, their right tackle, I believe, is no longer with the team. But I think
all the Rams who were with St. Louis before they moved, I think they're all gone at this point.
Yeah, by the way, as much as I love some of their players, like Matt Stafford, I've always been a huge fan of him. And I'm still a fan of Devontae. Kyron is one of my favorites. I love watching him. I will never like the Rams. And that's because of you, Stan Kroenke.
Yes, he gets it.
You absolutely screwed over the city of St. Louis, made the team as
Look at John Fisher in Oakland, too. Screw him for Major League Baseball side of it.
No. Oh, I'm not done, Fitz. As much as I love the LaDainian Tomlinson, he's my all-time favorite player. Antonio Gates, Phillip Rivers. The LA Chargers belong in San Diego, damn it.
Exactly. Thank you for saying it out loud. Seriously, thank you. Oh my God. I feel like I've been on that island alone for ages.
No, I've been singing that tune for a while.
Actually, Fitz, I think you're in the way of majority. I think it's the complete opposite of that. Anyway, do either of you have anything else to add on Myles Garrett before I go?
It's just more so the fact that the one thing, and Brandon, you know this better than anybody, is, and Josh, I don't know if you've ever heard the clip. About 2 years ago, I was nearly killed in Fairview Park by a reckless driver, and I recount the whole story in a little short clip. I'm not going to miss Myles Garrett from the fact off the field of his speeding, and apparently there's been a whole documentary thing on Netflix that I only was just made aware of like in the last 24 hours.
I'm not aware of it, so
I was just made aware of it. So it's like, I need to find out what it is. But apparently I think there is, if what I was told is correct, one of those crashes in Strongsville, because he had a couple recent ones around like speeding or all that around Strongsville, around the highway. But, in terms of just having a guy, unlike a Joe Thomas, again, we get it why. And I think they should have traded him last year at this point, because now it just feels devoid for 2026. It's like you can't even celebrate his accomplishment with him because you're not going. He's not going to be even here. That's what kind of sucks to a minor degree. But the fact that as Josh, you hit on that point, they didn't capitalize on the value to the best of their ability. They still get a lot of good value, but you could have gotten better value. And I honestly, I'm all right with the trade. You get Jared Verse, who I didn't think they would have ever given up in a trade like this. It's just still tough to swallow the fact that a guy that you thought was probably one of the few ones that you were hoping would end up, brown and orange entire career, maybe 1 year in a hometown team, right at the end, kind of like a Terrell. I don't know if Terrell Suggs is the right one, but it's like that's what I was hoping for. And it's like, it just sucks, man. It does suck.
He goes from playing every game at 1:00 to, I believe it's like 7 nationally televised games.
They have 7 standalone games, it's called. So there's a different language. There's primetime games.
Yeah.
Which are the Sunday night, Thursday night, Monday night. Those are the only primetime games. And then there's the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, the international games. Those are what's called standalone games. And so if you combine primetime and standalone games, the Rams are at 7, which is tied for second in the league.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm still happy that there's barely any primetime games for the Browns this year. Thank freaking God.
Yeah, I'm surprised they got one. Granted, I thought that was going to be the Browns' home opener against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football.
Wait, I thought we didn't play Atlanta week 1. Holy crap! What did I
No,
miss?
no. I'm saying my prediction was that the Browns were going to host the Atlanta Falcons in their home opener in week 2 on Sunday Night Football because of the whole Kevin Stefanski coming back to Cleveland. Think about this, though. There's another similarity between Myles Garrett and Joe Thomas, and I touched on this earlier. How many different head coaches did Myles Garrett have while he was here? Kevin Stefanski,
Jackson, Freddie Kitchens. I'm not counting the interim, by the way. And,
Greg Williams. Nope, you still have to count.
He had 3.
4.
I'm not counting the interims. Jackson.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
And
you kind of have to count Greg.
All right. So basically, like he was he was the D coordinator.
Yes.
Prior to Hugh Jackson getting fired, he,
yeah.
Basically, let's say 3.5 if you want to put it like
okay.
that.
He had countless starting quarterbacks. DW4. That's the furthest I will go with him. I will not say his name.
Fuck that bleep.
Yes. Yeah. He's had, let's see, number 4.
By the way, Josh, week 14 is when they host the Falcons.
No, I know.
No, Fitz, he was saying before the schedule came out, he predicted.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sorry if I didn't make that clear, but
no, that's my fault. I should have understood the context a little better.
All right, hold up, guys. It's 16 minutes and 34 seconds of this show.
And let me say this. People need to just back off on the Brown thing because Philly media, congrats. You got your little paparazzi day.
Okay, no, listen. This is not about AJ Brown. This is about Myles Garrett because I have been waiting very patiently, and I have not waited this long on this show in forever to say what I'm going to say, which might surprise you, Fitz, because I'm going to take you back down the memory lane.
Oh, how far into our BSR days? Tell me.
Do you remember week 11 of 2019?
Yes, I do, because Enzo and I went on that next morning.
This was a
Thursday. We have the hotkey queued up, the little siren blare, and it's like, oh no, breaking news. I'm like, I'm on the board.
This was a Thursday night football game between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers in Cleveland.
Oh, I remember this.
You guys remember what happened that night?
As the suspension is announced was fucking golden.
Yep. This was the game that caused the T-shirt. I forget Freddie Kitchens was our head coach. He ends up wearing a damn T-shirt.
Can I still tell a story real quick? I got to interview briefly when I was doing a chat with Joe Schobert during training camp that same year. Myles Garrett popped in. It's like, just from my vibe of the dude, like Rudolph or someone on that Pittsburgh team had to have said something. I'm just shocked that audio never came out. And that is an excuse of behavior, but I want to make sure I say that because I almost forgot about that.
My point is, do you remember? I don't even remember. Did I call into your show the next day? Because I don't remember.
Thank you.
But I do remember I had the show the following day at 10 a.m. And do you remember the first thing that came out of my mouth?
Oh, God. I don't think I was able to listen in. I can't remember if I was on RA Rounds that evening or not.
At that moment, I said, this offseason, first of all, I said Myles Garrett should have been suspended the rest of the season. And then I said,
he was, yeah.
And then I said, at that moment, that offseason, the Browns need to trade him now. His value will never be higher.
Well, it was higher after 24, so I'd say that would be the highest.
I disagree. He was in his prime at
He still was. He was at 28, 29 the other offseason.
Yeah. Well, he was in his prime at 23, 24. That's a 4-year age difference. And one of the reasons why you didn't get Jared Verse is a very premium player, but one of the reasons why you didn't get 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett is because on December 29th of this year, Myles Garrett is going to turn 31 years old. And that's
they also traded away the first rounder. What? They traded 2 firsts for McDuffie, I want to say.
Yeah.
No, they traded away their 29th pick of this year's draft.
They traded away a future first as well.
No, they did not. It was a first, third, and a fourth all this year.
Man.
So
The Rams really don't give a crap about
They do. They just know how to draft well in every single other round.
They really don't give a crap about their first-round picks. It's honestly hilarious. And before you continue, Brandon, let me just say this. The strategy that the Rams are utilizing, I don't think many other teams can pull it off.
You need to have great scouting, period.
Like, the only other team that I can think of that has pulled it off to a lesser degree are the Kansas City Chiefs, because they traded up with the Buffalo Bills, not once, but twice, got their franchise quarterback who has gotten them to like 5 or 6 Super Bowls, whatever the number is. And they used their other pick that they got from Buffalo to draft Xavier Worthy. There you go.
So, as Browns fans, you guys are going to hate me for saying this. But until last year, I never thought Myles Garrett was the best edge rusher in football, because I thought he was not overrated as a pass rusher, but I thought he was I thought he was not taken to task enough, is the words I'm looking for not playing the run and clearly giving up on plays. And yes, go back and watch the tape. Myles Garrett would get most of his sacks in garbage time when the Browns were down 20 points. They weren't double teaming him anymore, et cetera, et cetera. And I always made the argument that if you are the great Bruce Smith, Reggie White, et cetera, you impact the game for 4 quarters, no matter if you're getting double teamed or triple teamed. And I will give Myles this. When they finally gave him some help.
Yes, exactly.
Darius Smith, he did have better years, but
Mason Graham, though, was the key.
I thought last year was Myles' best year in his career. And I will say this, for every talk about, oh my God, he's going to be this big game record with the Rams because they're going to have the lead and he's just going to be able to tee off in the fourth quarter. That might be true. And listen, I like Brandon Fisk as a defensive lineman. I think he's a very good player. But besides him, who else is on that defensive line that scares you? You can very easily, with a good offensive line, even on the Rams, slide protection over to Myles Garrett. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's going to have this game-changing impact that everybody thinks, that he is going to be the closer, that he is going to be the difference maker. I actually think Trent McDuffie will have a bigger impact overall on the Rams than Myles Garrett.
It's going to be interesting to watch, because I think you could be right.
The Rams' problem was not pass rush. I mean, Jared Verse was a very good part. By the way, did you guys know, since Jared Verse has entered the week, the top 2 people in pressures in the National Football League, one is Myles Garrett, but guess who is number 2? Jared Verse. And he doesn't even have his man body yet. So my takeaway is...
That's scary. That is scary, at least.
So my takeaway is this, guys. And Fitz, you know, and I've been saying it. Josh, you know, I've been saying it. And Fitz, you and I talked about this yesterday, so I know we agree on it. Todd Monken is a one-and-done head coach.
He
reminds me a lot of David Culley when the Texans died. It's like, we'll just hire this old guy because there's no good candidates out there. We'll go.
I'd say he's more like a Dave Trajowski, good feeling kind of thing, but he's...
You mean Rod Chudzinski?
Chudzinski, yeah.
Okay.
Because there's a Dave here in the Cleveland market among the local media.
So my point is, you are saving, what, $30-40 million on Myles Garrett. You have all this young talent still not being paid yet. Harold Fan and Quinshon Junkins, Carson Schlesinger, Dylan Sampson, Fano. If one of these receivers works out, I really love the safety.
Boston and McNeil Warren, Daniel McNeil Warren out of Toledo. Oh my God!
So
first rounders fall to Cleveland.
So they're going to tank for a quarterback, and I fully believe that they're going to try to not win a single game, because I do believe Jimmy Haslam wants Arch Manning. I believe that in my heart.
He's going to get Arch Manning.
No,
he's going to get Dante Moore.
He's not Jimmy Haslam. He is Jerry Haslam. I will continue to say it.
I believe, because of the Tennessee connections, because of the connections that he does have with the Manning family, that's the guy he wants.
Speaking of Tennessee via Philly and now New England, it's going to be interesting to see, and we're going to segue here, unfortunately, because I wonder what A.J. Brown's new contract's going to look like, because breaking news, Drake London, 4 years, $141 million, worth $100 million, including $100 million guaranteed.
Okay. This was the worst kept secret in all of the NFL. I'm honestly surprised the deal actually ended up happening and that another team didn't try to, no pun intended, but another team didn't try to swoop in.
Well, the Rams did try, and then they decided to back out and go after Myles Garrett.
Yeah, but I'm surprised. And okay, not Tennessee, obviously.
I would have loved Jalen Carter, but obviously that wasn't going to happen with Howie
No,
Roseman.
it was not going to happen. I would have gave you guys Nolan Smith.
I would have liked that too.
I think he's a very good edge premium rusher, but no, I'm not giving up Jalen Carter for Myles Garrett, especially with the age difference.
Yeah,
anyway,
I get that.
You guys know before the draft, Fitz, you were on here when we did our draft preview show.
Yep.
I would say, I don't think they're going to take a wide receiver, because I think if the deal wasn't made for A.J. Brown, then you probably lose a little bit of leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I know the deal was already in place, because they went out and they traded with their arch rival Dallas Cowboys, and they went and got Mekhi Lennon.
That was the shocker, is that them and Dallas made a trade in the
and I was ecstatic because you give me Mekhi Lennon in this new look offense. I am getting excited already.
I am more excited about Denzel Boston than Casey Concepcion, who slipped just a few picks into that second round, dude. Holy crap. He's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, anyway. I don't understand why we took Casey Concepcion.
Well, it sounded like other teams were going to take him right after the Browns, so the Browns.
Well, good.
Him, and then you still get one of the first rounders that we had.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, my point on AJ Brown is this, and you guys know, I have tended to say in life, don't get very emotional with players. Don't fall in love with players, because after all, this is a business and not all players stick around forever. A.J. Brown will go down as one of my favorite Eagles that I've ever rooted for.
Regardless, honestly, he was a great player for that.
Because we got to 2 Super Bowls and we won 1, and I don't think we get to either of them without A.J. Brown. And there's a lot of rumors floating around online. Some of them are too hard to believe, and some of them are actually pretty close to the timeline that I do believe, that I don't want to get into right now, about the reason why the Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown relationship did falter. If you guys really want to dive into it, go look on Twitter/X. I'll send you the link of the one I actually do believe is real. It's a wild story, but the timelines match up. I'll say that. But no, I think this deal works out for both sides. I am happy the fact that we got a 2028 first, and I'm actually happier that it is a 2028 and not a 2027, because I think if there is any chance, I think A.J. Brown's going to be on his best behavior this year. Now, obviously, we'll see what happens with the Mike Vrabel.
Hopefully he doesn't become a certain other Brown, if you know what I mean.
As things develop. But no, I mean, obviously, I think both teams got what they wanted from this. A.J. Brown is going to put up huge numbers in this offense. I didn't know growing up he was a Patriots fan. So, that's another cool element for me. And for the Eagles, they get to save some money that they will absolutely spend on Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean and trying to keep that defensive core intact. And, earlier you guys were talking about the Rams and the Seahawks, and Josh was out here trying to crown the Rams.
I'm not forgetting the Eagles, because now I can finally pick them with confidence to win the division.
Oh, well, Fitz,
the curse is finally broken.
Fitz, I actually would, believe it or not, I actually disagree with you on that. I think the NFC East is wide open. And I think any of the 4 teams could win it. I really do. I think this is going to be a 9-10 win division. I think they're going to beat each other up. But
how well does Harbaugh do? Because I think that them and the Cowboys are going to be the two
it all depends on Malik Neighbors. I mean, there's a reason why yesterday they go on and they signed Odell Beckham, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Braxton Berrios off the street.
Well, Berrios being more of a special teamer, but that's a solid signing, and it's all veterans minimum for a couple of those guys. So it's like,
I mean, my biggest question with the Patriots side of this is
Vrabel.
No, not Mike Vrabel. We watched Drake May absolutely get obliterated last season. we were talking about it earlier when we were discussing Myles Garrett. Single-handedly in that game against New England, Myles Garrett had 5 sacks on Drake May.
No, you're right. I told you in the Super Bowl. I told you I watched the first drive and I knew my prediction was wrong. I knew the game was over.
Yeah, because I was waiting on your prediction to make mine. I'm like, okay, there we go.
But I did say, if you remember in that write-up, Fitz, I did say I got to watch the first couple drives of the game because I got.
Yeah, you did say that. But
I
like you said, the one thing I needed, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going Seahawks.
Yeah, but is Drake May going to get the protection he needs to get the ball to A.J. Brown? I don't know.
Well, also, they're not a passing team. They have a bunch of running backs.
They're more of a run team.
They have Travion Henderson. They have Ramondre Stevenson. Now, I think A.J. Brown's going to get the targets. But the funny thing is, which is why I think this is more of a Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown relationship issue. It wasn't, and I know week 1 last year, he only got the 1 target against the Cowboys opening night. But at the end of the day, A.J. Brown finished with over 1,000 yards again last year.
Yep.
So,
and he's also been one of the most efficient in both his prior stops.
I mean, he got 1,000 yards. I've always thought he was a fringe top 5 receiver. I always thought he was one of those underrated players in football.
He was.
And I know you guys are expecting me to be like, oh, F A.J. Brown. No,
I'm not expecting that. You know me better than that.
No, I wasn't expecting that from you, Brandon. You're like me, where we're fans of the team, but we're honest. I'm not one to go back to the Myles Garrett stuff. I'm not one of these delusional Browns fans that are like, oh, they're going to be great. They're going to challenge for the division.
Oh, then you're going to love my column that I sent to you, Brandon, and you're going to love reading it whenever it comes out, Josh.
No, I
mean that's in a good way.
To finish off what I was saying, this era, with this trade, the Browns are trying to close this old era of football with the previous head coaches and all that. This era of being stuck on the hamster wheel of losing season, fire head coach, get a new quarterback. It's not going to end until Haslam sells the damn team. It's not going to stop.
Do I want to spoil the news for you? Because I think you're going to find it worse.
Go.
Eventually, it's going to be the son-in-law who takes over for Jimmy Haslam. It's going to be J.W. Johnson, and that's a bad thing.
It's
a bad thing.
I actually had a viewer live comment on my live stream yesterday. Yes, and he said Haslam is as bad as Dan Snyder.
No, okay, those are 2 different classes.
No,
2 different classes, because Dan Snyder was an absolute. I don't even say moron, was an absolute disgusting human being.
All right, guys, we got to wrap up football and we got to get to basketball.
Final quick draw, though. Denzel Ward to Brown for the rest of his career. Yes, no?
No.
5 seconds.
You know what? I agree with Ken Carman. They should be shopping him right now.
All right.
So
there we go.